I'm not sure if I ever told it on the podcast, but I was once on set where a guy got injured. And you know those the big scissor lifts, the blue genie ones? The guy had gone all the way up, like maximum height on it. And he was messing with the lights on the grid in the ceiling. And you can also drive them when they're at that height. Yeah. They're quite slow. So when that happens, it beeps really loud. So everyone's like, get the hell out of the way, this giant, basically column that's driving around. Yeah. And we just heard like, boop, boop, boop. And then it just complete silence. And he banged his head on the pole that was holding all the lights and was unconscious at the top.
Oh, Jesus.
And we just had to go to lunch. It was like, all right, well, that's lunch. And I guess they got him down.
They have controls at the bottom, don't they?
I don't know. He was like, people were like, how are we going to get him down?
Jesus Christ.
What's going to happen when he wakes up? He's like, where am I? Oh, fuck. I'm still up here.
Yeah, they were like, Terry, that's lunch.
Terry's having a
concussion or like needed medical attention.
Go get Terry. We're going to go get some burgers.
Yeah, it was bad. We didn't see him for the rest of the shoot.
Or ever again, maybe.
No, I don't think he died.
Terry died that day.
God.
Rest in peace, Terry.
I wanted to point out something that we have here on set. This is our first, I guess, really live post-RTX podcast. And after the RT podcast panel, someone from the panel came up and gave us this picture. You can see it in front of the coffee table down there. It's a signed picture by Schmorgen Heckengard. And he signed it as Schmorgen Heckengard.
I love that we've actually affected his life now. He wrote Schmorgen Heckengard on a picture of himself.
He knows about us. Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, it's like it's signed, and then it says Schmorgen Heckengard on it.
I still like to believe that a fan was like, can you write this? And he's like, I'm sorry, can you spell that again one more time? What the hell are you saying? Like, Smorgan? That's S-M-O.
Pretty sure that's probably what happened.
It's your name, idiot. Just write your name.
Please put a diagonal line through the O, just for good measure.
Fun fact.
Everyone asked us to do an Australian accent too. We're like, God, stop, because it's just, we're going to embarrass ourselves.
Everyone there wants us to do an Australian accent, and then you do it, and they just like, that sucks. And they just tell us how awful it is. And I'm like, I was like, fuck you, do an American accent. And like, oh no. It's like, well, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like,
I didn't fucking come out and like tote it as the greatest accent in the world. We're like, no, do it. Oh, boo, that's awful.
I came out here to have a good time, and I'm feeling attacked right now.
It's just a thing to make people feel good. It's like when
Hashtag ball pit.
It's like when someone will ask you to try on your glasses.
Yeah.
I've seen this happen with people who wear glasses, and they're like, oh, Christ, your eyes are shit.
Oh, you're blind. Oh, my God.
We had a lot of people come to the booth, too, and they were like, you sound so American now. You don't sound that way in your videos. I'm like, really? Do we sound
people kept saying we sound American. I was like, it's funny. You sound Australian.
That's absolutely true, though. If you watch something on TV, like say I watch an American show, if I hear the same American in real life, they sound way more American.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, what is way more American?
They just sound like...
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, I kept doing that.
We all have lockjaw.
I do that a lot.
Like, can I get an autograph? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Well, like, if you were to do a sound effect for the like a British accent would be like, boop, 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 wouldn't it? And America would be like, bam, bam.
I feel like British would be like, oh, but that's just because of you.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, boop, 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 boop.
Boop, boop, boop. Crumpets. The Queen. Boop, boop, boop.
Corgis, yes.
Yeah, but it's very like sharp and swift. And America is like slack-jawed and lazy.
Dan was doing a little bit of it during your...
Fuck you.
It's not an
insult.
Take that, America.
We were just talking about the insult here a second ago. Don't take this the wrong way, but y'all sound slack-jawed and slow.
You fucking idiots. You lazy fucking morons.
It's just a way to describe the different accents.
Slack-jawed and lazy. It's just a description.
I'm not saying mine is better. Mine sounds weird here, but...
Dan was doing an American too. Yeah.
Well, I was like, the thing is, like, ours is slack-jawed and lazy, and his is like faster and intellectual and kinder.
Pristine.
But it's not an insult.
Pristine, but not in a compliment way.
I feel like Gavin with the British accent as well, with Dan as well, it's slower. I don't know. You guys feel like you enunciate more and everything's like poetry. You're like, ooh, here, let me tell you about my lunch. Yes,
Ooh.
I had salad today. Ooh, it was
Ribeye.
lovely.
What?
Stuff like that.
What are you talking about?
That's how I hear them.
Gavin and Dan, when Gavin and Dan get together, it's just like Gavin devolves. Like Gavin started out, I don't know, like in the middle, you know, like British, and then he's been here for so long. His accent has wavered, you know, he makes this face. Absolutely has. It absolutely has. His accent's so much less than it was 2 years ago. But then he gets back to Dan, it's like, and the two of them, you don't know what the fuck they're saying.
The only thing I changed is that in videos I talk way slower. Because when I first arrived, and I'd be like, oh, what are you doing, you bloody prick? And everybody would be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but you talk like that all the time now, pretty much.
Yeah.
We were talking shit.
Slower.
We were talking shit the other day. Dan and I were talking shit about Gavin.
Yeah.
Over in the Achievement Hunter office, and I guess Gavin heard us and came walking in.
Yeah.
And Gavin came walking in like this, like with his arms kind of out. And Dan goes, "What are you doing, Gavin? Carrying carpets?" And then Gavin like got all deflated and like kind of like shriveled up and then like ran out of the room.
I didn't even know what you were talking about. I just heard my name. What were you talking about?
We were talking shit about you.
What were you saying?
What an asshole you
That
are.
was happening a lot, like while Dan was here. We kept talking shit about Gavin, and then like the shit that Gavin says about Dan, because Dan doesn't watch any of the videos or anything like that, and so he's just like, "What'd you say? What?" And Gavin's just like, "Well, you know, that's how it is, B."
He
And
wanted
he's
me to-
like, "That's not what happened."
We talk
What?
about-
no, and then the two of them
Yeah.
just go at it.
He wanted me to clarify a story that I told. Apparently, I told it wrong on some format that we have. But the girl wasn't asleep when he fingered her.
There you go. Mystery solved, internet.
That was one of the many
So there you go.
stories. No. What you been saying, B?
Not true.
That's not true. What? I sound like a dick.
Dan was upset because he said that you make him sound so dumb in all of your impressions of him. It's like, it's true. Every time Gavin talks about Dan, Dan's just so confused. Like, what are you on about, B? What's this?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's funny because that's the way Gavin is.
Not flattering at all.
Yeah, right?
What are you on about is like your top 5 sayings.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't understand what people are talking about most of the time.
It is funny watching
Because
that dynamic,
everyone else
too.
is so dumb.
It's true.
And slack-jawed.
Gavin never understands anything.
We're slack-jawed and lazy.
Hey, Gavin.
Well, any other
That's usually
time,
how I talk to him.
even in Achievement Hunter, I don't know. I mean, we make fun of Gavin quite a bit for his intelligence, but the second Dan's here, it's like Gavin's the alpha male, and he's like, "You're fucking stupid, Dan," and Dan's
It's
like,
true.
"Ooh,"
It's true. He unloads on Dan.
which is even funnier because Dan's like this muscle-bound dude. You know, he's in the military, and Gavin's just like, "Fuck you," like to your face.
God, I'm
He's like, "Fuck you, Dan. You stupid prick. Shut up." I was pointing up towards the sky like Dan was much taller
True.
than Gavin. For
Dan
the audio
did-
listeners.
Dan did do an American accent too during the slow-mo panel. I was trying to get to that as well. He kept saying dollars.
Yeah.
And
Dollars.
he nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Dan.
Is that like
Yeah.
the ultimate American word to say?
guess.
Dollars.
He
kept
loosened his
saying
jaw
quid.
a little bit, and
Yeah.
it came right
Dan
out
did a funny bit.
together.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember his gamer tag still. I was like, that's the stupidest gamer tag in the world.
What was his gamer tag?
Danino G?
Well, do you know what it was before that?
Uh-uh.
It was Badger on Roids.
Oh, that's right. I played with him when he was
And
there.
I made him change it, and then I took Badger on Roids and never gave it back.
Jeez.
Oh, my God.
Where does Badger on Roids come from?
I don't know.
It's not like an inside joke. It's just there.
I'm not.
They
in
were
on
probably like 12 years old when they made that.
That's
It was.
true.
Dude, I like badgers and I
it
like
was-
roids.
It was before I was friends with him. It was probably when he was sat by the trophy
I
cabinet.
did that. I didn't convince him to change it, but I did that to Jack.
Yeah.
Before I started working here. I remember that was the thing. It was pretty funny because he had his gamer tag was Monkey5225 or some shit like that, and he had that for a while. And I was doing Rage Quit from New Jersey. I hadn't moved here yet, and I came home from work one day and I get on Xbox Live, and it was like within an hour or so I see Jack P is online, and instantly I was like, Jack changed his gamer tag. I wonder if anybody took the old one. So I immediately, this is back when you could get gold for a month for free, just making an account. So initially they would let you pick your gamer tag when you made an account. You get to pick, an available one, and then you got to pay to change it. But then they instituted a thing where they just gave you a gamer tag, like a just random one, like that's what it is, but you get one free change. So what I would do is I would make gamer tags and just have them ready in case I wanted to grab one, because you get one free change. So it was seriously like, oh, Jack signed online. I wonder if Monkeys522 is taken. I went to a gamer tag that I already made like a month ago. I had one free change on it, and I just changed it like immediately, like in a minute, and I had his gamer tag. So then, because Jack obviously went through all the bullshit on the podcast where like his identity stolen and people broke into his fucking house and all that shit, and his life was like a hellhole. I'm like, I'm gonna make that even worse. So I made his profile, because he always complained about people trying to imitate him and stuff. I made the profile all like it was Jack. Like I'm like, hey, I'm Jack from Achievement Hunter. Da-da-da. I made an avatar that looked just like him. I put there was some kind of Rooster logo as like your avatar icon, and I put that. Then I started messaging everybody on his friends list saying that this was Jack, and that that this guy Jack P was imitating me. And then I sent one to Jack. So I just didn't say anything about it. I just sent the messages out, and I don't know, like a day or two went by, and I didn't want to blow my load and like go right to Jack and make it too obvious. 2 or 3 days go by, and then I get an aim from Jack. He's like, have you fucking seen this guy? Has this guy messaged you? And I'm just like, what? what's happening? He's like, this fucking guy, he took my gamer tag. He's going around pretending to be me. And it was like this whole AIM conversation because I mostly talked to Jack on AIM as far as like achievement hunter stuff. So it was like this whole conversation he had, and he was talking about how he was going to message E, and E was looking into it, like at Microsoft, and they were going to get the gamer tag locked and all this. And I just went along with it the whole time. And I was kind of talking to him on and off for a few hours, and finally he like goes in the AIM, and he's just like, all right, I'm going to head out, you know, blah, 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 I'll talk to you later. I'm like, cool, yeah, I'll talk to you later. By the way, I stole your gamer tag. Like, I just waited right till the very end of the conversation, and that got me a lot of street cred in this building before I got here. I think that's part of the reason, too, why Jeff and Bernie hired me.
That's why we didn't have to jump you in.
Yeah, it was like, this was like the
guy's cool.
hardcore shit on Jack time during the podcast. Like, when he kept getting, you guys would make fun of him for living with his parents and stuff like that.
He would always try and walk off the podcast.
And he would walk off the podcast sometimes. So it was right during that. So you guys were like, okay, you're good. You're good. You stole his gamer
See,
tag.
I would have kept it going until I was in the same building.
It's like when you're in prison and you just punch someone.
Yeah, I got there and was just
punch
like
the biggest guy.
established dominance.
Michael got a tattoo of a teardrop after that.
Yeah, I got a tattoo of Jack's teardrop after that.
I would have
He
stayed.
was pretty annoyed. He took it well though, but he was pretty annoyed at first.
I would have kept it until you're in the same building, and then just messaged him with stuff like nice green T-shirt and stuff like that, just to see if
You would do that.
How do you know that?
Are you in this room?
That was a really shit Jack impression. I'm sorry. I'm a female. Michael does it better.
Here, let me read this thing.
do it as Jack.
No.
This podcast is brought to you by my dill.
This podcast is brought to you by Nature Box.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
God. Also, by the way, that was my hashtag ball pit earlier.
Ball pit, yeah.
That's an
Ball pit,
epic
get the ball
story,
pit.
guys.
I'm
So
so
apparently
glad I'm
it's-
aware of that.
It's an odyssey of events.
It's
from what
a
I've heard.
convention that Tumblr users decided to have. I guess they saw VidCon, which was
Yes.
put on for YouTube, and they thought we should have something similar for Tumblr, so they made
Yeah.
DashCon in
Great
beautiful
theory. Yes.
Schaumburg, Illinois.
Yep.
Where?
Yep.
And
You just said.
I guess it was just a disaster.
That's
That's what people are saying.
Yeah.
From reportedly, attendees showed up, and immediately the con organizer started asking everyone for donations because they needed money to pay the hotel.
heard that. $17,000, I
Yes.
believe, is what I keep seeing people tweeting and
So
tumbling
They
about.
raised $17,000, and then everyone found out the hotel didn't need any more money.
Yeah. So they have no idea what the money went to. In the first
It went
place.
to a bitchin' ball pit.
Nice. Damn straight.
I guess like everything was so disorganized that the
Yeah.
Welcome to Night Vale podcasters were there.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they decided they had to cancel their panel because things were so poorly organized.
Not Joseph Fink. I
they
can't
said,
remember his
Oh,
other
there
name.
it is. And so
Yeah.
as a
That's
reward,
a real photo. That's real.
everybody who could not attend the Welcome to Night Vale podcast got compensated with a free hour in the ball pit.
Yep.
Yep.
This is a
Fair
real
in the ball
thing
pit,
that
yeah.
happened. They had a ball pit and they had a bouncy castle.
I was telling Lindsay before the podcast started that when I have stress dreams about RTX not being done, like that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
We need
Like,
a
just-
ball pit next RTX though. That has to happen. I'm sorry.
We obviously need a ball pit and we need a bouncy castle now.
Yeah.
They're definitely innovating.
They had a BDSM panel too.
They
It
did.
was interesting.
Yep.
That
They had a
wasn't.
BDSM
Was it in the
panel.
ball pit?
No,
No,
I
maybe.
wish.
What's
Incorporate
BDSM?
It's like bondage,
sadism, masochism. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
sex stuff.
S&M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a form
apparently
of it. I'm not
it
an
wasn't
expert.
age gated is a lot of the complaints I see, and they were like, well, why the hell wasn't this 18 and up? That doesn't make sense. So apparently kids who were like,
Kids are
coming
into it?
hanging out.
Why are we going to discriminate?
Experimenting, jeez.
Kiddie bondage.
Let them figure
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, it's,
got this.
It's, ugh.
Dude, did you just come from the anal panel? Me too.
Someone peed in the ball pit, I'm being told.
Oh yeah, I heard that too. Someone pissed in the ball pit, and people were like, "Man, I was just hanging out, having a good time in the ball pit, and then I'm wading through piss."
Oh, God.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're not getting a ball pit at RTX. We're not
We
doing
should get a
that.
ball pit for achievement hunter.
Yeah.
I'll put a ball. We could fit a ball pit in that room.
People
This is like in the middle of a let's play. If you fuck up, it's like timeout. Get in the ball pit. You
Yeah.
just put somebody in the ball pit for 5 minutes.
Sometimes there's piss, sometimes there isn't. You don't know.
Did you see on that note too, did you see the news story? I think it was kids in the UK, but they were hanging out at a birthday party. I told Michael about this. And it seems like the most horrifying experience to have as a kid. They were hanging out at a birthday party, and then a big gust of wind took the bouncy house.
Oh my God, yeah.
Up into the air, and apparently they were pretty fucking high up. Like they said something like 5 or 6 stories, which is crazy when you're like 4 hanging out at a friend's birthday party. And apparently they got so high that eventually they just had to jump, and people tried to like catch them and everything. But that's terrifying.
Like they had to jump out. It literally was just floating away.
Like,
with the kids in
They
it.
had enough time to like discuss jumping out.
I don't fucking know. I wasn't there, but yeah, they were like the kids finally had to escape from the bouncy house
I
as
guess
it floated
they
into
jumped
the
the fuck
street.
out
I
before it
would've
kept
just-
going higher.
I would have just grabbed on and clung for my life.
Oh, I don't know. I was
Jumping
out of that
6
house.
stories?
Yeah, I think there's the picture.
Well, it's like what
Yeah,
happens? It
look at
floats
that.
away, and then
Oh,
yeah,
look
I
at
know,
that.
right? And then like what happens though when it pops and you're fucking 5 million feet in the air? Then you're really fucked.
Horrifying.
Was-
Then
not
it's
gonna
like
pop.
Indiana Jones shit, and you're like falling from the
Just
raft, and
get
you
in-
hope you land on a mountain.
Just get in the refrigerator.
yeah.
You're fine. You'll be fine from nuclear
Pop,
fallout.
though. It might deflate.
That's
but
like
at
an
least it'll
episode
go
of
down
Are You Afraid
What
of
if
the
a
Dark
bird
right
flew in
there?
it with his beak and popped it? What if you got hit by a fucking plane in a bouncy castle?
What if someone
That'd be horrifying.
peed in that bouncy house while they were up in the air?
I'd be pissing and shitting to try and bring the thing back
Doesn't make
down.
any sense because it was already in your body.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I know.
make-
There's no
I'm stuck
displacement.
in a bouncy castle 500 feet in the air. I'm not using my brain, okay? I'm trying to get back down.
Everybody's shit now.
I would be jumping. Jump! Try to go down!
Why is
I would be running around like a fucking lunatic.
Why is there
As we
shit
lift
falling
off
from the
planet
sky?
Earth. Why have we
down with
invested
stuff that was already on here?
Why have we invested so many millions of dollars in the fucking like NASA when we can just get in a bouncy castle and float in the fucking stratosphere? That Red Bull guy was fucking stupid. What are you doing, Felix? Just get in a bouncy castle, strap 3 of them together. I'll go to the moon. That's crazy.
that'd be great if you bounced off too in his
I would
launch
have
like
jumped
boom.
out at 10 fucking feet. Like, oh shit.
No, because it would have been awesome for a while. It would have been like, whoa,
Yeah.
and then it would have been like,
There's a fine
oh.
line somewhere in there where the awesome stops.
Maybe they thought it was a magic bouncy castle for the first like
I'm
minute.
flying. Billy, jump! Like, what the fuck do you do that?
Honestly-
My kid is fucking flying away.
Honestly, I think the smartest thing to do would be to go to sleep. Because when you're
Oh
asleep,
shit, we're flying away. We're 80 feet in the air.
I
Everyone, sleep.
Mike-
just can't deal with this right now. Dead weight.
when your
Jesus.
body's all limp from sleep, you don't get hurt as much.
True. Michael's
Look,
gonna be shitting and Gavin's gonna be sleeping if they escape in a bouncy house.
Let me throw my shit at Gavin. Wake up.
Michael, I'm trying to sleep
Wake
here.
up. We're
Get
gonna
the bloody
die.
kip.
They worked out for the dude on the forklift, right?
Yeah.
Or on the scissor lift. He was like, oh, this sucks. I'm just going to go to sleep for a
The
bit.
kid just like had a bottle and hit himself in the head.
I have heard that, but like for tornadoes, people who pass out in the middle of being sucked up and they wake up, they're like, I'm fine because I passed out and the tornado just threw me like a rag doll.
Yeah, it sucks that you can't activate that when you're awake,
Activated.
like a ragdoll mode.
Yeah. I'd like to go limp, please.
Oh, this does not look good. I better turn off. Hopefully I wake up in a better situation. Like, is that like somebody tries to mug you in an alley and you're just like, I'm out of here. You just like fucking drop.
You imagine being in the passenger seat of a car and the driver thinks he's going to crash, so he's just like, ugh.
God.
The driver's like, the
And
passenger's like,
you're like, I already used my sleep for the day.
you're going to do it once
You got like
per day.
one every 24 hours.
That'd be awesome. I would do that all the time,
God.
just for a laugh.
Moral of the story, don't trust bouncy houses. They will fuck you.
Well, when I
Yeah,
read
that's
that
crazy.
they'd installed it correctly, they'd staked it to the
That's
ground.
what, yeah, they said they staked it down and there's just a huge gust of wind happened to pull it all up. And the guy who was running the party, his poor father was like, I'm so sorry. Your kids were lost in this bounce house.
Wait,
that
so this was
floated
in
up."
the UK?
Apparently.
So I guess there was no
yeah.
guns to shoot it down.
No, that's
Also,
the
would
difference.
never happen in America with fat American kids. Those kids would never get lifted off the ground. That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Slack-jaw kids.
And right when you said UK, yeah, they'd be like, dude, dollars. And then that thing would be firm. You don't even have to stake it down.
true.
It would just be stuck there.
Give Billy some more Mickey D's. He'll be fine.
Cheeseburger,
Mom, win me another burger.
chicken nuggets.
We found out it's called Macca's in Australia. We
Yeah.
had some Macca trips.
Mackie D's.
Lindsay was walking up to the set, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Tuggey?" She goes, "Not anymore." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what's up, Jugs?" No, wait. I was like, "Never mind." I was like, "I did not call you that."
All right.
I was like, "That's gonna get me a talk from Yvonne."
You don't know how many tweets I'm going to get now. That's just what's up, Jugs.
I was like, "Bad word choice." Was just talking.
I should be like, sup, balls.
Just give it right back.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Jones is the new nickname. I've been called Tuggey forever
It's
though.
the new nickname.
Well, especially when I played sports in high school, everyone just said Tuggey. I was never Lindsay. They're like,
Welcome to
"Sup, Tuggey?"
everyone else in high school.
I know.
Everyone
Shit.
calls everyone by their last name.
Nah, were you free?
That's what I was when I grew up. I had like 8 friends, and we all called each other by our last name. It's just like a stupid high school.
Were you
thing.
Sorola?
No. Well,
Bam.
no, I wasn't.
I got called Vinny at school.
That's weird.
What'd you get called Vinny?
It's just the last half of my name with knee.
Interesting.
And you're Italian?
Yeah.
Excellent
guess.
point.
I never got called Vinny.
And it's your middle name.
You never got called Call?
No.
Colo?
No one ever called me Cole. Yo, Collie.
Why
It's
not?
like Cole.
It's the last part of your name. Yeah, with an E.
You
Yeah.
never got called.
You never called Ussin?
I did get called Tavo. It's a nickname for Gustavo.
Oh, nice.
So that one.
Did you really?
Yeah, that one.
What other nicknames did you have? Any?
Yeah.
Oh, are they inappropriate?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Not
I don't-
able
I don't
to
want- I don't want
do
to
it
get into
here?
them.
Fair boy.
No,
Do it,
I
do it,
just
do it,
don't.
do
I
it.
just don't want to.
Is it racist?
No, God,
Jesus.
no.
I was thinking like PussyCrusher or something.
Yeah, I imagine that was Gus's nickname in fucking middle school or high school.
When I weighed,
oh shit, PussyCrusher's in the building.
when I was just as tall as I am now, but I weighed 40 pounds less, you're the Pussy Crusher.
Dude, if I were that stature, that would be my nickname to try and get some street cred.
Oh my God.
You look like a total skinny geek in the Apple Switch video.
Yeah.
And you were in your 20s then. How old are you?
I was 24 when we
That's
made that.
crazy.
Yeah, so you were younger than me.
That's like pretty much how old you are now.
Weirdest
Yeah,
place you fallen asleep?
I fell asleep. Okay, it's a little bit of setup.
I feel like Gus would make an interesting one.
He's so old. He's got so much time.
There
you
was
know?
a Tyrannosaurus.
Full of aged wisdom.
I was driving with a friend of mine from Austin down to Houston. We were going to help a mutual friend of ours in Houston move. But we'd stayed up all night, like drinking and having fun in Austin. So we take off from Austin in the morning. And at the time, I had this little manual transmission pickup. And I'm driving. My friend cannot drive manual transmission. So we're on 71 driving out to Houston. And we're like, hey, man, I'm really tired. Can you drive for me? He's like, no, I can't drive standard. I can't do it. I was
you
like,
do the stick for him?
No, I was like, I'll tell you what. I'm going to get us up to 5th gear on the highway.
Oh, God.
That way you don't have to shift gears. From the passenger seat, you just hold the steering wheel. I'll leave my foot on the gas and I'll take a little
Gus.
nap.
What the fuck?
He was like, okay. So I put my foot on the gas. I lean back to fall
What?
asleep. And he reaches over to hold the steering wheel. And then like I start dozing off and I think, open your eyes. And I open my eyes to look at him. And he's slumped over
God
asleep with his
damn.
hand on the wheel. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're supposed to be driving.
Wow.
How are you
How
alive?
could anyone drive from the passenger seat?
I
It's
was
so
like-
stupid.
That's like I've had to hold the wheel for Lindsay before. She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, can you grab it for a second?" I'm like, "Yeah," and it's the most uncomfortable, awkward thing
You
ever.
can't judge distance
Where
from
it's
there.
like, yeah, and it's just like, when you're in other lanes and there's cars next to you, it's like, take the wheel, take the wheel, take the wheel. All right, I can't imagine doing that more than 10 seconds.
That's like a quick adjustment, too, where I'm like, oh, I got to fix my belt or something like that. Okay, cool.
That's like 95% of the way to committing suicide.
Yeah, it's 95% of the way to a Darwin Award. How did he die? Well, it looked like he wanted to take a nap, but he didn't want to stop driving.
So wait, so you only had your foot on the gas, and
Yeah.
he only had a hand on the steering.
Yeah.
So you need to brake, and you're all dead.
Yeah.
You think
God
about
damn it.
braking?
No,
well, they were on the highway.
He's already taken a
that
break.
car also did not have cruise control. It was like, so if I like stopped my foot down while asleep, we just would have taken off. Or
Jesus Christ.
Gus, you were the cruise control.
I was.
You
I
were
was
like,
I was
don't
in-
worry, I've got it locked in at 50.
I was in snooze control. I was fucking set.
I
Think
fell
of.
asleep in a pile of potatoes once.
Okay, that's
in the supermarket.
little
You didn't
strange.
mention that one.
That wasn't that weird. Like,
Really?
That's a
We
little
would,
weird.
That-
Is that not? Is that weird?
Yeah, well,
I used to work in a supermarket.
well,
There was veg everywhere.
explain.
It was,
Dude, I sleep on
Okay.
potatoes all the time.
I was up to my neck in veg.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Dude, I worked at a supermarket. I slept in potatoes. Duh.
Gus,
Well, okay,
Gus the
upstairs-
veg
upstairs-
crusher.
weird.
upstairs in the warehouse, the sacks of spuds were probably the comfiest place you could lie down. So you'd make a little spud fort like this,
Spudford.
and then you'd get in the middle. It'd be like a cocoon of spuds, and there would
How
be
the
like
fuck were potatoes the comfiest thing to sleep on?
because there were sacks, and you could
What
like
about,
put
like,
them
sacks
down
of
there.
flour?
Yeah, They're kind of lumpy, but it was better than sleeping on
Lumpier than a fucking potato.
It's better than sleeping on the pineapples. What else are you gonna sleep
Sleeping on the floor sounds better than sleeping on a
as
sack
potato,
of
I
potatoes.
just feel like what is it? It's like you go to the doctor. It's like, what happened? I slept on a potato wrong.
Like, oh, that's been happening a lot lately. We've
Yeah.
seen a rash of that.
Oh man, it's an epidemic.
I'm really good at it. I can make you a great spud bed.
Please do so.
I saw an RT live.
Do it. I'll sleep in it. I'll
Why
attempt
didn't
to
you
sleep
make
in it.
one for
That's where
our
I'll shut
marital
off.
bed? Like that should have been your gift to us for our wedding as a spud bed. Here you go. You can make love here. Go
They're
ahead.
really good. They're really cozy, and you can put down like sheets on them and stuff.
What are the new?
What is the newest country?
Probably like South Sudan.
How old is that?
A year, maybe a little over a year.
Holy
I think.
shit.
Yeah.
What was it before?
It was part of Sudan. Sudan split into North and South Sudan.
Yeah.
We were surprised and had completely
Well, I
forgotten.
just fucking answered your question.
Yeah.
Don't me.
Hey, Gus,
Yeah, whatever.
Mediocre response.
Yeah.
True.
Did not live up to his expectations. Try again.
The truth?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't very interesting. I regretted asking.
Fucking ask a question. I'll
fucking
give you an
ruined
answer.
it for him.
We had a similar reaction in Australia, though. We had forgotten how new Australia is as a country
You say
as
the
well.
word forgotten. I
I
didn't
guess.
know.
Yeah.